Good morning, everyone. Here is amazing news. It is Monday,
It's Monday.
and I'm with this amazingly talented, beautiful, successful health coach,
Thank,
Yvette.
thank you so much. How
You're
are
so
you?
welcome. I just want to point out that Yvette did a video over, I guess it was on Friday, or was it for
Thursday.
Thursday? On
Thursday.
Thursday, and it now has like over 1,100 views on it, which is
That's
amazing.
1200.
is
Not that I'm looking.
it 12 now?
Yeah.
It's 1,200 views. So kudos, amazing to
Thank
you
you.
for that just goes to show you that when you spread the message, people are there to listen, and that's 1,200 people. So that's amazing. I'm so happy and
Thank you.
excited for you. Yeah, so that's great. So today's Monday. It's the beginning of the week, and we were thinking about a message today, which is interesting, which is when we give advice to other people, is it perhaps advice we need for ourselves? And I'm gonna let Yvette tell a story first, and then we'll go from there.
Hold on.
So
The
the
dog
dog is doing his thing.
He's trying to get through. Okay, so over the weekend, we went up and we spent some time with the girls and the baby. And it was interesting because yesterday we all went out for breakfast and, we were talking and we're talking about health because here we are, we're all sitting down and we go to this restaurant that Mike and I looked at the menu and they've condensed their menu for COVID right now. So there was really nothing that we could eat. So anyway, and I was giving advice to the girls and telling them, it's not good to eat this and don't eat these eggs and don't eat the cheese. And I was spewing a lot of advice. But then, I was just like, okay, well, I got to find something to eat here. I normally I don't drink coffee. But, when you're at a table and others are doing things, sometimes you get influenced on doing things that you would normally not do. So I'm like, oh, it's kind of cold. Let me have a cafe au lait. Didn't have any sugar in it, but it does have caffeine. And then I had something else. I don't normally eat bread because it has gluten in it. So I had bread with some other stuff in it. Well, let me tell you that I should have taken my own advice that I was spewing to the three of them because then my tummy was not feeling good on the way home. And during the night, I had stabbing pain in my stomach.
Right. Yeah.
So I think what I could learn from that is taking my own advice. I should have listened to what I was telling the three of them at breakfast and taken it for myself. I should have followed you because Mike didn't eat anything there. And somehow during this conversation that all of us were having, he found out there was a juice place.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Well, we were lucky that we found out. But what Yvette's saying is so true, and I know for myself, I'm 100% guilty of that. All the work that we've done. The bottom line is there's still room for growth always. Like we're all works in progress all the time, and here's what we both decided to do. We're going to take the advice that we're giving to others and we're going to write it down and we're going to like keep a little journal of all the messages we're giving to others because really it's a message for ourselves. It's interesting, like just this morning, someone in the accountability group was saying, well, how do I believe in this goal? And so then I gave advice, right? Which was, you know, you got to know what you want and hand it over to a higher power. Listen for the messages, the signs, the thoughts that come, and then act on those. Now, that's amazing advice for myself. Yet, what do? I don't always listen to that advice. I'm like, why isn't this happening? I'm doing all these things. And that's kind of what happens, right? We don't necessarily pay attention to our own advice, that we're giving out to other people. So we thought by creating like a little journal of the messages, it'd be a great
Yeah.
reminder for ourselves of what we need to do. Because I don't you think that's kind of a common thing for us to do is to give advice to other people?
Yeah. Yeah, well, even Saturday, as we were driving up with your mastermind group, they were doing this live on health, And, they invited me to jump on and hear him talking about, gut health and eating, probiotics and all this stuff. And then here I go Saturday night. And what do we order? Yes, the order was put in a little wrong, but the salad then has all the stuff that we couldn't eat. Or, the pizza had real cheese on it. So it wasn't completely taking my own advice because here I am in an environment that I'm not used to.
Yeah.
And it was challenging, but what I could have said, okay, I'm not going to have it.
Right.
I needed to take my own advice.
And so, like, we're seeing Jamie and Debbie, they're saying the same thing, right? Jamie says with patients all the time that they should breathe, and yet she's not doing the breathing herself. Or it's more of a reminder, hey, I need to do breathing more often myself.
Yep.
Right? So it's just, I guess the whole thought for today is let's really start to pay attention to what we're telling other people, because really it's just a message for ourselves as well, right? We there's something in it for us that we need to pay attention to, right? Because it's how easy it is for us to give other people advice.
Very easy.
Right. We were both telling her daughter, and we were telling her about a certain way to eat, and that yet we, maybe we didn't do it perfect ourselves, but it's okay. Again, it's a message for ourselves. And Debbie said, she's always telling her students to love themselves, and it's definitely advice for her to take for herself, right? It's, isn't it funny how we do that?
Oh yeah. I was guilty of it, I think, all weekend. of saying, and I think sometimes too, even with parenting advice, I have seen myself now, and it's just like I have to step back because I got to let them figure it out for themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what, that's the point, is if we're just open and we're able to just look at what we say and what we do and just analyze it from a different perspective, we'll see maybe there is a message in it for us. I remember telling my buddy, like, you're so stubborn about things. Like, why do you have to do it that way? and meanwhile, like, that's me to a T. Like, I'm stubborn. I need to have it work a certain way. But I see it in him. It's easier for me to point it out in him than it is for me to point it out in myself and take responsibility for my own actions, right?
Yeah.
It said, well, you're doing it. Why are you doing it? Well, it's okay. It's just a message for me that there's work for me to do. So I think that's the bottom line, right? If we're giving advice, perhaps there's still, and I think there always will be, there's always going to be work for us to do, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think we're just continuing to evolve, and it's a work in progress. We're never going to be perfect.
No. And that's okay. That's okay. Like, we're just growing and we're learning, and we're trying to apply the information to help ourselves and help others.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting writing down the advice we give to others, and we look at it, and it's probably advice. I know for me, it's advice I need to take for myself.
Yeah. And again, that's so true. And just by writing it down, it's good because in a week from now, we can look back at it and say, oh yeah, you know what? That is really something that I could start to work on a little bit more myself. It's just a reminder for ourselves. And if we're giving out consistent information, like advice to everyone on a specific thing, that means we need to do more of it ourselves. I'm always trying to tell people, if you just do this thing, you'll feel better. Well, maybe perhaps it's me telling myself, Mike, you got to put that into action at a higher level too, right? So our advice, for the most part, is generally for ourselves. Now, it may not be exact, right? Maybe my friend who I'm saying is a little stubborn is really stubborn in this way, and I'm stubborn completely differently. But the bottom line is there's stubbornness that I need to work on myself. So what do you think?
I think, so true. So true. So today I'm back home. We're home.
Yes.
So I'm starting my morning how I normally start.
Amen.
Yeah.
It feels good, right? It feels good to start off that way.
Yes.
Yeah. So, that's it. So comment below, what advice are you giving to people, and and we got a couple already, Jamie and Debbie commented, but what else are you guys putting out there to other people that perhaps, is a message for yourself? And this isn't judgment. It's not good or bad. It just is. It's just a message for ourselves to do something to take care of ourselves. That's it.
I think it's great.
That's it. So today's Monday. Have a wonderful, wonderful week. We'll see you on Friday with a new message. And perhaps we'll talk about this a little bit more on Friday as we've all had a chance to go through it for the week and see what lessons we learned this week. So let's all try this as a project for ourselves to implement this of really paying attention to the advice we give to others. We'll write it down for ourselves and see how it actually goes. What do you think?
I think it's going to be a fun little experiment.
It'll be an experiment, fun. And that's it. So have a wonderful, wonderful Monday. We love you all. We appreciate you. And we will see you on Friday.
Have a great day.
Have a great day. See ya.